about different topics that might help you to cope better with stress, mental challenges that you are experiencing, or to improve your life and make your life easier. However, I want to note that these videos cannot be accepted as treatment and they cannot be accepted as psychotherapy. I'm sharing them to increase your awareness and to increase your knowledge so that you can research better or can use simple strategies that might help you to cope with slight challenges that you are experiencing. And today we will be speaking about signs of motivation and why you do what you do and how you can increase your motivation levels, what's the neuroscience of it, what's the science behind it, and what you can do in order to motivate yourself better, to focus better, to decrease procrastination. Let me start with a question. Have you ever known exactly what you needed to do and still couldn't make yourself to do it? Or the opposite, maybe you have ever been so absorbed in something that you were studying or working for hours and you didn't even notice how the time was passing and you forgot to eat. Both of these experiences point to the same thing, motivation, but they reveal how poorly most of us understand it. And because motivation is not a personality trait, something that you can either it's not something that you can either have or you don't have. It's a system, it's a biological and psychological system that can be understood, influenced, and worked with. So today we will be discussing about science of motivation, why you do what you do, and you will learn how neurobiology of motivation, what's really driving your behavior, and differences between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, and why it matters enormously. And about self-determination theory, one of most powerful frameworks in motivational science, why motivation changes, fluctuates, and what you can do about it. And I will also share some practical strategies to work with your motivational system. So first of all, neurobiology of motivation, and we will discuss about dopamine. Most people think that dopamine is the pleasure chemical, but it's not. It's a bonding chemical, and neuroscience Kant Barrett at the University of Michigan made a crucial distinction. The brain has separate systems for wanting, anticipating, craving, seeking, and liking, and the pleasure of actually having something. So dopamine drives wanting, not satisfaction. And this explains something you've probably experienced. For instance, you work intensely towards a goal and you finally achieve it, and then the high is brief and almost disappointing because the dopamine system, motivational engine, runs on anticipation, not arrival. And this is not a design flaw, it's why humans keep striving, but understanding it changes everything about how you work with motivation. And reward prediction error. Another research revealed that mechanism behind this is that the reward prediction error. Dopamine neurons are based on difference between expected reward and actual reward, and when something is better than expected, dopamine surges, and when it matches expectations, moderate responses occur, and when it's worse than expected, uh, dopamine drops below baseline. That's probably you can notice when things are going worse than expected. You would be less motivated to do things, to continue your projects or work. And implication. Novelty, surprise, and uncertainty are built on motivators, and predictability and routine, however comfortable it is, dampen motivational system over time. And therefore, that's why the first day of a new project might feel exciting, you might be interested in it, but the 40th day or 4th year or 3rd year might feel like work, and dopamine system has calibrated to the expected reward. So what is self-determination theory? The most influential theory of human motivation in modern psychology is self-determination theory, developed by Edward Jekyll and Richard Ryan at University of Rochester. And SDT people proposes that human beings have three innate psychological needs. When those are met, intrinsic motivation flourishes, and when they are thwarted motivational withers, and if external rewards are present. And autonomy, the experience of volition acting from your own values and choices, not from external pressure. So, for instance, in the previous example that we have discussed, even if you are in your work for 40th day or 40th year, if you are acting from your values and if nobody is forcing you, but you are acting from your own will, there are still chances to stay motivated. And competence, the experience of effectiveness, feeling capable, growing, making progress. And relatedness, experience of connection, feeling genuinely connected to others, no matter while you are trying to accomplish or do whatever you are doing at that moment. And over justification effect. Mark Lepper's classic experiment revealed that children who enjoyed drawing were given external rewards for drawing, and those who received rewards showed significantly less interest in drawing afterward, compared to these who received no rewards. And therefore, adding an external reward to an intrinsically motivated activity can undermine the intrinsic motivation. And this is over justification effect. So what are implications of it? What does it mean? We need to be very thoughtful about what we reward and how. If someone, for instance, loves what they do, adding money or financial factors to it or prices can shift their motivation from internal to external, and that would make them less likely to do it without external reward. So why motivation fluctuates? Motivation wave. Motivation is not a stable state. It oscillates, it changes, and understanding why is one of the most practically useful things in motivational science. And so if we will understand it better, we can use it, we can adjust conditions, environments, and size in order to help us to stay motivated and to increase motivation levels and decrease procrastination. For instance, your motivational capacity follows ultradian rhythms roughly. There are 90-minute cycles of higher and lower alertness. Therefore, working with these rhythms rather than against them can significantly improve sustained motivation. And the next one is depletion. Ego depletion theory by Roy Baumeister suggests that self-regulation, including the effort to stay motivated, draws on a limited resources and depletes with use. This is why making decisions and exercising willpower all day makes evening motivation collapse. So why this is important? For instance, we can use this information and adjust it uh, to help ourselves to plan our day better and to do more tasks. For instance, we can do tasks that are harder or that require a lot of emotional or cognitive load earlier in the day or at times when you feel most motivated, and not waiting for motivation and using higher morning focus for the most important work. And we can reduce daily decisions. For instance, we can, knowing that our motivation and efforts and energy are limited, we can plan our day or decrease decision fatigue considerably by pre-planning, for instance, making more detailed plans about what we are going to do, what we are going to wear, what we need, preparing these things in advance. And this would help you to use less energy and not to decrease your motivation. And starting ridiculously small, making it so easy to start doing tasks. For instance, opening the document and working just for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or convincing yourself that you will work out for just 10 minutes. And oftentimes you would notice that motivation is generally increasing once you are able to start the task. And protecting your mental energy like a budget, asking is this decision necessary right now, or trying to eliminate some decisions or exercises, tasks that require a lot of your motivation, maybe postponing them or delegating them and prioritizing what's important for you. What difference would it make? Like what is most important, and what can you change? How can it change? How can it bring you closer to the change? And expecting evening willpower to be weaker, oftentimes we feel more tired, exhausted in the evenings. Therefore, scheduling your harder tasks in the evenings can help also to maintain balance and to be able to do more tasks. So maybe you can leave some simple tasks during the evening or reviews, rest of light progress. So relying on I should feel motivated instead of waiting for perfect motivation or waiting for uh, feeling motivated, just making plans and following the plan and starting the tasks or work that you need to do, no matter how you feel or how motivated you are, is one of strategies you can use in order to have better schedule and to be more disciplined. And another important factor is emotional state. One of factors that contributes towards procrastination or changes in motivation levels are emotions, especially negative emotions such as anxiety, stress, worries, problems, feelings of shame, maybe exhaustion can considerably decrease your motivation and activate avoidance because we don't want to feel uncomfortable feelings, negative feelings, and emotional climate around us or also what's happening around us can directly impact our motivation levels and willingness to start to do the work or things that we need to do. So instead of trying to get rid of these emotions or trying to avoid or distract ourselves, what we can do instead is simply asking, how do I feel right now? How might my emotions make me impacting my behavior or tasks or ability to do the tasks? Or instead of starting to procrastinate or blame yourself or criticize yourself, telling yourself that you can't do this, that you are lazy, reminding yourself of how your brain works and why people are procrastinating, and reminding yourself that this environmental stress, anxiety, emotional state might be impacting your willingness to do the task can help you to focus better on your work. And noticing, naming your emotions can significantly help you to calm down and detach from emotional state at that moment and refocusing your attention and accepting that these emotions are there instead of trying to suppress them or to get rid of them can be more useful and help you to continue with the task and to decrease procrastination. So this creates a small shift. So when you are criticizing yourself, trying to avoid or suppress your emotions, you will use a lot of energy and effort for this. And once you are able to accept the emotion and just simply decide why this is important for you, reminding yourself why you are doing this work and taking a small step towards whatever you are doing at that moment, can help to create more momentum and also decrease procrastination. So you don't need emotional permission to act, and emotions are inevitable part of our life and a reason for being a human. Instead of waiting for confidence or calm to move on or for a perfect moment, we can decide that anxiety or feelings of overwhelm, exhaustion can be still here, and I'm still going to take one small step. And reminding yourself that you are choosing it and reminding yourself why is it important can help to weaken avoidance conditioning over time and would make you more willing to embrace uncertainty and comfortable feelings and to keep going anyway. So shifting from emotion-based motivation to values-based action, that would be taking your place right now, and asking yourself what matters here, independent of how I feel, how I would like to act, even in the presence of these uncomfortable feelings, and respecting for your future self, having sense of responsibility, growth, integrity, and in choosing which values are important for you, which values you would like to see even when you feel uncomfortable, when you feel anxious, when you feel overwhelmed, and taking one small step towards that version of you who you want to become using these values can considerably help to decrease procrastination and make you more willing to embrace discomfort and taking action even in uncomfortable times. So avoidance also thrives on big, scary tasks. If your tasks are too big, too challenging, your brain can interpret it as a threat and make you less willing to start doing it. But making more detailed plans and preparing everything that you need to start the task, to do the task, and convincing yourself to do your task just for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and making it as ridiculously small as possible can help to decrease resistance and make you more likely to start and to maintain your motivation levels, because when the task feels too big, it will feel scary and you will have a lot of overthinking. Will I be able to continue with it? Will I be able to finish it? But when it's small, it's more likely that you will start. So you are, in a sense, training your brain that you can act even with these uncomfortable feelings that you are experiencing at that moment, uh, and that you need to feel better in order to do certain things. So instead of instead, the learning target would be, I can move toward what matters even when discomfort is present, even when uncomfortable feelings are here. And also reminding yourself about the meaning. Frankie's research and studies consistently show that perceived meaning is one of the most powerful drivers of sustained motivation, even in objectively difficult circumstances. So, one of most important and counterintuitive findings in motivational science is motivation-action relationship. Action precedes motivation, not the other way around. So we think that if we will be motivated, we can take action, or we are more likely to act and to do things when we are motivated. However, the research shows that oftentimes we got motivated once we start doing things, once we start to act. And most people wait to feel motivated before acting. However, Zeigarnik effect tells that unfinished tasks also can create psychological tension that drives completion. And behavioral activation research confirms that doing generates feelings, and far more reliable than feeling generates doing. So we can use all of this science to help us to stay motivated, to stay disciplined, to decrease procrastination, and we can adjust environment, timing, planning, people around us, and the way we uh, perceive experiences around us, stress around us, and noticing feelings, thoughts we have around whatever is happening around us. And we can use this as material to increase our motivation and to become more motivated, focused, and disciplined. So, which activities make you feel intrinsically motivated and which feel extremely pressured? Which feel meaningless? You can notice over time. For instance, anytime when you feel unmotivated, try to understand the reason. What's the reason behind? Maybe you are just trying to avoid the feeling and you are forgetting about the meaning or values that you want to see during those times. So this can help to shift your focus from uh, noticing where is your focus and what your mind is telling you and how you want to change it, what you want to change. And for activities where you feel unmotivated, maybe you can try to ask what's genuinely meaningful for me here. Why is this task is important for me? And writing down your values that are important for you, like why you are doing this, can also help to increase your motivation levels. So, increasing your self-awareness about a motivational landscape, learning about science of motivation, can help you to use this science in your daily life. And for any task that you are avoiding, for instance, try to remind yourself about anything that you've been avoiding so far, procrastinating, and commit it for just 2 minutes. And oftentimes, according to research, people notice that once you are able to do it for 2 minutes, uh, then the urge to procrastinate decreases and you can easily continue with it. So the commitment is only to start, and removing all the pressures to finish it is another strategy you can use to keep yourself motivated. And when motivation is chronically low in a domain, try to check these three needs. Are you experiencing autonomy here? Maybe you have some thoughts that you have to do it and you feel pressured. Maybe it reminds you of something that you had in the past, maybe about your previous relationships where you had negative experiences, and maybe this feeling is keeping you, holding you back, and reminding yourself that you are the one who is choosing to do this, choosing to act, or maybe you feel controlled, and increasing your autonomy. For instance, reminding yourself, I'm choosing to do this task. And are you experiencing competence, or are you either bored or feel overwhelmed, and how you can make your task more interesting, and like what's important for you. For instance, if you are trying to read a book, what you will get out of it. Maybe you will learn something, maybe you will learn new skills, or like the reward doesn't have to be financial all the time. Thinking about benefits of it and making it more entertaining, adding something that you enjoy can also help to motivate. And asking yourself, am I experiencing relatedness? Are there any other factors that help you to feel related, to feel connected, or do I feel isolated and disconnected? And how can you change that? How can you change, increase connectedness, relatedness, and playing with it can also help you to increase motivation as well. So asking yourself these questions can help directly to understand what are your needs and what you can do in order to increase motivation. And find connection to something that genuinely matters for you. For instance, ask yourself, what genuinely matters for me? What are some times when you were feeling motivated? What was driving you for action? What was helping you to feel motivated, and how you can use these strategies again? And not forced positivity, but a real connection. What are some times when you really felt connected, genuinely connected? And these questions and exercise is important because it supports your health, that lets you to be present for people that you care about or you love. And the last research conducted by Emmy, I don't know how to pronounce it, Wesniewski at Yalas University, about job crafting, actively reframing tasks around personal meaning, and significantly helps to increase motivation, engagement, and well-being. And there were some questions that you asked previously. The first question was, is motivation genetic? There is a genetic component and factor of it, especially related with dopaminergic activity, which influences considerably impacts how easily you experience motivation. But genetics is not the only factor that contributes to your motivation levels. Also, your environment, factors, beliefs, skills, and all these practices are significantly influence motivational system. So even if genetically you are less motivated, you can play with these other factors that we've been discussing here about science, about what helps you to increase motivation, how you can motivate yourself, and you can considerably improve the situation, even if it's quite challenging for you right now. If you think that you have motivation in short bursts and you cannot sustain it, and you are wondering why, it's because this pattern might often reflect that over-reliance on external or excitement-based motivation, not working with your ultradian rhythms, and maybe tasks don't meet your autonomy, competence, or relatedness needs. And sustainable motivation requires all three needs to be met, not just initial excitement. For instance, if you are trying to complete certain project or task and you don't have a relatedness connection factor, you can adjust your environment, and you can find and reach out for people with whom you feel connected, who have similar goals like you, and you can change your environment, play with the environment and these factors to help you to stay motivated. And does depression affect motivation? Profoundly. Depression involves dysregulation of dopaminergic motivational system. Specifically, it reduce anticipatory pleasures and reward sensitivity. This is why just making yourself do it is generally unhelpful for someone who is depressed, and it's much more difficult for them to become motivated, to stay motivated, to maintain the motivation, or to regulate their emotions. And behavioral activation can help in this case, and noticing your feelings and doing what you want to do, or you need to do even when you don't feel like doing it, and planning activities that might help you, and gradually increasing the structured activities can help to increase motivation levels and help the person to recover from depression. But of course it should be assisted uh, with the help of professionals. So it's better to refer to your medical doctor, family doctor, and to receive professional support instead of trying to do all these things alone. And supporting autonomy. How can you help to motivate other people? Is supporting their autonomy, involving them in decisions. For instance, if your kids are like they don't want to do their assignments, involving them in decision making, cooperating with them, asking them what they need, supporting their competence, providing feedback, can help them to grow, not just evaluate. And supporting their relatedness, creating genuine connection, making them feel that you are there for them. Controlling approaches, surveillance, pressure, conditional rewards, and reliably undermining intrinsic motivation in others. That are factors that you can use uh, to, to help to motivate other people around you. So what we have discussed so far is that motivation is a biological system. It's built on dopamine-driven anticipation, not arrival, and brain has separate wanting and liking systems. We also discussed about self-determination theory that identifies three needs: autonomy, competence, relatedness that must be met for intrinsic motivation to flourish. And we have also shared that motivation changes with rhythms, depletion, emotion, and meaning. And action generates motivation more reliably than motivation generates action. So, and here what I want you to remember, that you are not unmotivated, you are not lazy. You are human, and motivation is a system, not a character trait, or not a character flaw. And understanding this system, the science, can gives you power to work with it. And today, think about something that you've been procrastinating so far, and start with 2 minutes. Check your three needs, find the meaning, ask why is it important for me, and trust that action will bring feeling if you begin. And don't forget to share your experiences. And if you have any further questions, don't forget to leave your questions in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and write in the comments which of these three SDT needs feel most unmet for you right now. And I'm reading every comment, and don't forget to meet here in other sessions. Thank you for coming, thank you for your time, and see you in the next videos. Take good care of yourself.
Tamam da. Şimdi gidelim. Ama bir de sen video çekerken ben işte düşecektim.